This YouTube automation format is a literal goldmine and it's fully automated. Now guys, this is not going to be just one of my normal videos. This is going to be an entire guide on sort of YouTube automation as a whole, the three main specific content styles that essentially exist on the platform, and so much more. I've also found a few insanely good niches that I want to share with you guys today that I personally think have like 5, 10K, 20K a month potential that are insanely easy to automate, cost little to no capital, and are really easy to get into. Now, let's get into all of this now. Once again, I'm not trying to sell you a course. I have nothing to sell you. This is going to be a pure kind of informative video. And really quickly, if you guys want to join my public Discord server, we've just kind of revamped it all. It's discord.gg/1%, where we essentially share information, give you guys a bunch of free stuff, do giveaways, all that type of things. And honestly, just a good connection point, to make connections in this industry and kind of expand from there. Now, yes, if you want to join discord.gg/1%, it will be linked below. But yes, without further ado, let me stop yapping. Let's get straight into the video. Now, choosing between the big three YouTube automation styles. Now, when we talk about YouTube automation, you guys probably hear the same thing every single time. There are three main styles. There are other ones, in and out of this that aren't too big or popular, but the main three are short form content. You guys obviously know what this is, like scrolling. You have the short 1080 by 1920 content. You have long form, which is different to ultra long form. I'm going to go ahead and kind of dabble into that very soon, but long form is essentially channels. Let's give for reference the Amagi, who's pretty big on YouTube. Let me go ahead and open up his channel right now. Now, this is an example of a long form channel, meaning it's just normal long form. They're posting anywhere from 10 to 50-minute videos. I would kind of classify that sort of threshold as normal long form. So we have short form, long form, and then finally we have something called ultra long form. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into depth on which ones I think have the most potential, which are the easiest for beginners, and everything like that. But ultra long form is essentially content like this. 4-hour long content that's entirely made with AI, but obviously has a much higher RPM. RPM meaning how much you're paid per 1,000 views. Now, no, I don't want to go ahead and just quickly get into everything. I kind of want to take it one step at a time and sort of go slowly through each one, iron out the pros and cons for each different style, and really help you guys decide which one you want to start if you want to scale to 5, even 10K a month within the first few weeks. Now, what I'm also going to do is share with you guys what budgets I would recommend for each niche. Now, starting off, we have shorts. Now, the average RPM on shorts, not including a music deal, if you guys aren't familiar with that, when you're making short form content, you can get a music deal, meaning these labels or music agencies will essentially pay you to paste music on your short form content. Now, this used to be insane. The RPM was like 40 cents on music content, but nowadays it has dipped. YouTube did kind of change it a little bit, so now it's not as good. It's about 5 to 15 cents. Still helps a little bit, but the base RPM just on YouTube AdSense alone is about 20 to 30 cents, presuming you have a good demographic. Now, the things that sort of, contribute to doing a short format channel is three main things. US demographic. What do I mean by this? You want to make sure whatever niche you might be doing, you are essentially targeting a US or first world demographic. It doesn't necessarily need to be United States. It can be Australia, the UK, Sweden, Netherlands, those kind of first world countries all contribute to a super high RPM. Now, if you're getting views based in India or Philippines or Pakistan, obviously the amount of money you're paid per 1,000 views is not going to be anywhere near as high as if you had a US demographic, a first world demographic, solely because the advertisements and the people that are paying for the ads aren't willing to spend as much on those types of viewers. So when we are doing a channel, short specifically, and kind of anything on YouTube, we want to make sure we are targeting those first world demos. Now, how can we do that? We can do English-based content, meaning the voiceover is entirely English. We can cover topics that are more so based in first world countries. For example, NBA, that's primarily, aired in first world countries. Family Guy, really shown in first world countries. Now, next thing with short content is consistency. People will post once a week and just expect them, to break out of 15K view jail and get a consistent flow of income coming from shorts. It's just not realistic. If you want to make shorts a reality, you really need to be posting once a day with pretty high quality content. And I'm sorry to say, I know a lot of you guys will send me your channels and be like, why is it not blowing up? Simply because your content is shit. I'm sorry, it's just the truth of the matter. You need to be posting good, quality content consistently. Now, pushing through jail. When it comes to shorts, and this is a massive problem we see in the community, I've made videos kind of covering these exact issues. There are two main jails with short form. We have 0 view jail and we have 15k view jail. Now, no, 15k isn't the only amount you can be in. You can be, in 25k view jail, you can be in 10k view jail, 5k view jail. It's all kind of that same little, that same portion around that 5 to 20k view area. Now, 0 view jail is very, very easy to break past. These two jails, meaning every single video you post, just seems to get trapped in that exact same view range. Now, how do we break out of 0 view jail? Very, very easy. First option is just use an age channel. Meaning when you, and FYI, this is for shorts only. I'm not talking about long form. I'm not talking about ultra long form. They're an entirely different ballgame. So take everything I'm saying at face value of what we're currently on. Now, short form. 0 view jail, how do we bypass it? It means every single video you're posting is literally just getting 0 views or little to no views. The way to bypass this is by using an aged channel, meaning the channel was created before 2022. For example, if we go to this Space Stars channel and press on more, it'll show you when they joined YouTube. They joined in 2015. Now, the easiest way to kind of avoid 0 view jail is literally just using a channel that was made before 2022. That will essentially, get rid of that 0 view jail altogether. Now, this will not be the same for 15k view jail. The only way to sort of avoid 15k view jail, and yes, you can get lucky and you can just not get put in it, but it's pretty rare, to be 100% transparent with you. The way you break out of this kind of funnels back into consistency. Continue posting, continue improving your AVD and, swipe rate every single time, and make little adjustments here and there, and eventually you will you will just break out. And I know it might seem pretty disheartening at the start to keep going and keep going and keep going, but eventually when you do break through, it is essentially a snowball effect, and from that point on, you shouldn't be in 15k view jail any longer. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a short one. I don't really go too much into long form just because it varies too much. There's a million different long form niches you can work with, and I can't cover all of them. So long form, I recommend for high budgets. Short form, medium budgets, long form, high budgets. If you do have, you're willing to spend about $1,000 a month, $500 a month, long form is definitely, one of the things you can get into. It's, very, very profitable, very quick to get going. I'd say out of these three, out of ultra long form, shorts, just regular long form is by far the quickest way to get to 10k a month. But yes, it does require a lot more capital. Now, as I said, an example of a regular long form channel could be a channel like this, Why It Sucks to Be Born As. You might have seen this style of content kind of blowing up, like Why It Sucks to Be Born As X Animal or Disney character. Yeah, like right here. Why It Sucks to Be Born as a Mutant, Why It Sucks to Be Born a Jedi. All these different kind of styles of content, right? Normal content that's about 8 to 20 minutes long. That's regular long form. Now, the RPM on this style of content can be anywhere from $3 to $8. Yes, there are outliers. Like if you were doing a finance channel for reference, you might have a $20 RPM. But, in YouTube automation, the average RPM you're going to have for regular long form is going to be about $4 to $7 on average. Now, this channel here is a prime example of just a regular, run-of-the-barrel, normal, long-form channel. Now, something with this is, yes, these videos are amazing. They're very, very quick to blow up. You can see this guy is already making quite a bit of money, and he just started about 3 months ago. But the issue is the capital is, it is very present. It's going to be pretty prevalent. It will cost you quite a bit to get this content made on a specific basis, covering editing, voice acting, script writing, everything like that. Now, yes, we can expedite script writing and voice acting with AI, but editing is still there. And on content like this, it's going to be pretty fast-paced editing and kind of, overall not too quick. Now, yes, there are, regular long-form exceptions in specific niches that, require less editing. But in my experience, for the most part, if you are starting a brand new channel, regular long form is just not the way to go if you are a complete beginner with a low budget. Now, finally up, we have my final sort of thing I want to talk about. Obviously, I'm going to go into depth on another niche that I recently found, but the final part of the big three kind of, styles of content you can create is ultra long form. Now, if you know me, you know this is kind of where I made a lot of my money. Ultra long form is by far the most profitable niche on YouTube for beginners and kind of for everybody that wants to generate 10k a month. Now, an example channel of ultra long form would be Space Dust. These guys have been going for about a year now. They started 1 year ago. In that time, they have got 10 million views. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's not that much. Now, I actually have insights on their channel. I can tell you this style of content has a $40 RPM, meaning they're getting paid $40 per 1,000 views. Now, off those 10 million views, this one channel has made about $400,000 in about a year. Now, I really want to emphasize how insane that is. You might be asking, well, why is the RPM so high? Well, firstly, it's because the content is 4 hours long, so they're able to just spam ads. You essentially want to place an ad every 10 seconds. Now, the way you can do this is by using the Chrome extension YouTube ad placer. You'll essentially set the intervals and type in 10 seconds and just spam ads everywhere. Now, that's obviously in the monetization homepage. Now, one thing I want to say is that no, it doesn't place an ad every 10 seconds. This is a massive misconception I see all over my comment section. They're like, no one's going to watch your video if they're putting an ad every 10 seconds. It's not actually every 10 seconds. It essentially puts it as many times as YouTube will essentially allow you to place an ad. So it's definitely the best way. It's what most of these guys do, and it's really how you can be hitting those $40 to $50 RPMs. Now, the most important thing for an ultra long form niche is obviously finding an evergreen ultra long form niche. That's pretty apparent, right? So Space Dust, this one, for example, My Unreal Planet TV, these guys post content about, locations. They do 4-hour long videos. They're making like that video right there made them like $60,000 12 days ago. Just really, really good content that's super clickable, super kind of to fall asleep to. One big thing with ultra long form is that most people are using this sort of content to fall asleep. I mean, you guys can see their views, absolutely insane views. So on average, this channel would have about a $30 RPM, and they're doing 4.3 mil views a month. So 4.3 times 30, this one channel is making $129,000 every single month. And of course, English-based videos. This is pretty apparent. We don't want to be doing, Spanish, Indian, anything that kind of doesn't have English voiceover. The only exception for this in ultra long form would be something like chill cartoon vibes, right? Where you're making, kind of lo-fi style content that doesn't necessarily have English in the videos, but it's more so music. Now, as I said, that's the exception to this rule. For the most part, we want to make sure we are choosing a niche that sort of has first world demographics, and we are targeting kind of English demographics. Now, really, really quickly, I want to talk about this. If you are starting an ultra long form channel specifically, go ahead and check out my personal site. That's premonetize.com, just like this. And you can essentially purchase a channel that's already monetized, meaning you can start earning revenue instantly right off the rip. Now, this is insane. If you guys know YouTube, you don't have to wait, a few months to get monetized. You don't need to wait for those $30 RPMs. You can get them instantaneously by simply getting a pre-monetized channel. Now, if you guys do head over to my site and you want to grab yourself one, use the promo code video and you'll receive a 10% off discount. That's going to be for the first 2 people. So go ahead and check that out. But yes, without rambling, let's get back into the video. Now, time for the bread and butter and what I've kind of been edging you guys towards this entire video. Now, I've recently found a crazy ultra long form niche with $30 plus RPMs, and I'm going to show you exactly how to automate it. Now, this channel that I've recently found is called Dino Dust Doc. I believe they might actually be owned by the same people that own this Space Dust channel. The reason why I say that is because it has dust in the name similar to this, and obviously their handle is something like, it ends in doc, same way these guys end in doc. Now, this channel posts ultra long form content on essentially history like dinosaurs and reptiles and all these really OG prehistoric things. Now you can see right here, Dinocheris, the prehistoric dinosaur science can't explain. 4-hour long content, probably has about a $30 to $40 RPM. If we go ahead and open up one of these videos, you'll be able to see.
Dinosaurs have fit into different categories.
Literally the easiest editing in the world. They're using pre-made content, right? So this sort of dinosaur videos, you might be saying, well, yeah, but how do I actually get these clips? Head over to Pexels, look up dinosaur, or look up, anything that kind of resembles that, and you'll be able to find a bunch of kind of free to use, commercially available clips that are obviously of dinosaurs, of reptiles, of all these other creatures that you're completely allowed to use for 100% free. Now, what are we going to need to kind of automate a channel like this? And firstly, what I want to do is actually show you how much money Dino Dust is making specifically. If we go ahead and check their analytics, they've got 1.2 million views in total. They only started about 6 months ago, but they weren't posting consistently. As you guys can see, now they're finally starting to post a little bit more frequently, but previously they were posting like once every week, if that, right? Now, as of right now, they're doing 200K long form views a month with a $30 RPM. They're making on average about 6K a month just right now off of such a low quantity, such horrible quality, and off of barely any effort. Now that's kind of why I say getting to 5 to 10K a month with a niche like this is astronomically easy. Now, what are we gonna actually need to get this type of content, going and off the ground? First off, we're gonna need script writing, then we're gonna need voice acting, thumbnails, video ideation, and obviously editing. Now, editing for style, for content like this is literally just dragging in your voice acting footage or your voice acting audio into your editing software, whatever it might be, going over to Pexels or Pixabay, grabbing a bunch of dinosaur pre-made clips that are completely free to use, and essentially exporting the video as a 4-hour video. Add some ambience, add some music, literally not much else to do other than that. And one really important factor is once you have, let's say, 10 hours of dinosaur clips to use, you can just continue recycling through your old library of clips for every single new video. Now, I've made videos on exactly how to script write in a niche exactly like this. I'm not going to go too much into it because I kind of want to give you guys as much info as I can without repeating myself from all my other videos. I've got a massive kind of recommendation from you guys that I should really just focus on giving new information. So that's what I'm going to do. If you want to learn the intricacies of how to do each little topic, go ahead and check my previous videos and everything like that. But for now, let's kind of skim over everything and sort of summarize. Now, for script writing, if you want to copy their video, all you have to do is copy their transcript. So simply download their video link, look up YouTube transcript downloader, go ahead and obviously copy their entire transcript, feed it to ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT to make you something in the exact same format, 4 hours long, using deep research, and there's your script. Obviously, there's a bit more that goes into it, but I've kind of covered that in previous videos, and I really don't want to yap for stuff that you guys don't want to hear because I repeat it every single time. Now, voice acting. Obviously, if you guys don't have the budget and you can't afford 11 Labs, which to be 100% honest with you, is going to cost about $300 a month for an ultra long form channel like this, go ahead and check out Fish Audio. It's only $10 a month and you get unlimited generations. Now, no, this is not sponsored whatsoever. I'm not getting paid to say this, but I know that if you guys don't have the budget, this is definitely also a pretty good option. Now, the quality is very shit compared to 11 Labs, but if you don't have the budget, it's definitely a good alternative to really get started in this niche for literally $10 a month. Now guys, really quickly, if you want to go ahead and do thumbnails as well, which is obviously pretty important, go ahead and check out vidIQ AI thumbnail generators. Now, let's say you wanted to copy a thumbnail like this on a consistent basis. Download their URL, head over here, press reference, go ahead and upload that, thumbnail style you want to copy. And I'm going to say, copy this exact thumbnail style for my video idea, 4 hours of prehistoric dinosaur lore. I'm going to go ahead and press enter, and let me just show you how absolutely insane vidIQ is at making thumbnails. And no, once again, not sponsored. This is actually completely free. You can just keep using free trials on new Gmail accounts and never have to pay for it. So it's actually really good. That kind of makes your thumbnail cost essentially zero for doing content like this. And as you can see, it's gone ahead and made me a pretty good thumbnail that honestly isn't bad whatsoever for what we're trying to do. So there you go, you've got your script, you've got your thumbnail, and now really what's left? Editing, as I spoke about, grabbing those pre-existing clips, uploading them with your 11 Labs, with your Fish Audio file, and then of course, exporting the video and packaging it all together. Now, of course, we have video ideation. This is super easy. Once again, go ahead and take a screenshot of their best performing videos. Of course, it's going to be these ones here. Now we're going to head over to ChatGPT and let me show you exactly what I mean. Now, I've gone ahead and just, taken a screenshot of the best performing videos here. And I said to ChatGPT, I'm making an ultra long form channel in this same niche. These ideas perform well on their channel. Make me 20 similar ideas. I'm going to go ahead and press enter, and it's gone ahead and actually made me a bunch of different ideas in the exact same niche. As I've said before, you can work with this model. You can train it. You can say, I want these, make them more enjoyable, make them more clickbaity, make them, better hooks, better engagement points. So many different optimizations. Now, there you go. Video ideation completely done. Editing completely done. Thumbnails, voice acting, and script writing. I'm telling you now, this niche specifically, and ultra long form as a whole, is so profitable. Now, as I said, if you guys want to get yourselves a pre-monetized channel ready to go, get those $40 RPMs right off the rip, check out my site, use the promo code video. And of course, if you guys want to work with me directly in my one-on-one mentorship program where I scale you to 10K a month, check out blakeryan.co. Feel free to apply. It's pretty high ticket, but if you guys do want to work with me and I like your application, I'll definitely get back to you. Now, very finally, guys, join my public Discord server, discord.gg/1%, where, we essentially share free information and I help you guys wherever you might need help for completely free. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something new and I will see you all later. Have a great rest of your day.